Hi, and welcome to FranTastic InSights. My name is Melissa Blum, and I am the VP of Franchise Expansion for FranServe, the world's largest franchise consulting and expansion organization. Our mission is to connect aspiring entrepreneurs with life-changing franchise opportunities, and I think we have one of those with us today. I'd like to introduce you to Scott Breimhorst. He is the Director of Franchise Development with Jet-Black. Scott and I just recently had the pleasure of meeting in person at the FranServe convention down in Orlando, and I just knew he would be a fantastic guest to have with us today. Thanks so much, Scott, for joining me. Happy to have you.
It's an honor. Thanks for having me.
So, like I said, we did just meet recently, and I think you have a pretty unique background when it comes to, your career in franchising and how you got here. Do you want to share that with us a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, it's a perfectly logical ramp into the franchise space. Um, Prior to working with Jet-Black, I worked with a brand called Discover Strength. An awesome 4 years. We awarded 51 franchises organically. It was awesome. But prior to that, I did something in Catholic education for 27 years. So I was a teacher, a principal, long-time advancements type person. So major gifts, enrollment management, all of those things. And the bridge into franchising came when the Discover Strength crew, where I was a client for a long time, figured out that the skills to ask somebody for a large donation are kind of the same as working somebody through the relationship building process of franchise development.
Absolutely.
And it worked. And so now I get to kind of keep a toe in both worlds. I'm going to be directing the business school at Holy Family Catholic High School in Victoria, Minnesota, and doing work with them and development on that. And then I get to stay with franchising with this awesome brand, Jet-Black, that I've known for many years. I've known the owner for 25 years and just really, really excited to be here at this moment.
Perfect. So, for someone that's hearing about Jet Black for the very first time, tell us a little bit about the story behind it. I know it was founded back in, I think, 1987, and it's been franchising since 1993. So, definitely not a new kid on the block here in franchising, but tell us a little bit more about the brand.
Yeah, the joke in the office is that we're a 40-year-old emerging brand. Um, so Jet-Black was started here in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. Two brothers owned it, kind of started organically growing the franchise space, really not kind of attacking that really hard. So just growing a little bit each year with different owners in different places. Our current owner and CEO, Nick Kelso, entirely bought the company out 2 years ago after acquiring most of it like 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And Nick started with Jet-Black as a franchisee 17 years ago. And he's the story of the kid who delivered pizzas and now he owns Pizza Hut, right? So he did the work. He was out there like just grinding and doing commercial seal coating, or residential seal coating, and then going all the way to the point now where he owns the company and we're poised for some really awesome growth here for sure.
That's a fabulous, fabulous story. So, what do you think the biggest thing that really separates Jet Black from anyone else that might be in your category?
Well, for home services, we've been called like a hidden gem. Honestly, no one else nationally is doing residential and commercial seal coating. It just
Okay.
isn't done. The work largely from the space specific to seal coating is done by either kind of mom and pops in markets or large commercial outfits. We do both. We handle both. We both do both really, really well. So that's on the kind of industry side. From the home services side, what is really cool is I like to say we are a hidden gem, maybe, but we're about the least hidden gem of any because we have got this thing called the jealous neighbor effect where there's a driveway literally two doors down. I could walk down there right now with my computer and show it to you that has a giant jet black stripe in front of it. And I guarantee they'll do six or seven more driveways in this neighborhood just based on that job. So what makes us unique is there aren't a lot of people doing what we do,
Mhm.
and it's a need people have to have and a want, ultimately jealous neighbor effect. I do like to joke that it's kind of like when the ice cream truck rolls into your neighborhood and all the kids come running. Only it's homeowners and they want their driveways sealed.
Our priorities evolve a little as we age, don't they?
Exactly, exactly.
Although
And
I
that's in
still
the
love a good ice cream truck.
maybe both. Exactly. We should start advertising on ice cream trucks, I think.
That's a great idea. So talk to me a little about your franchisees. What do they really love the most about being a Jet Black franchisee?
I think the number one thing is just how simple this business is. Seal coating itself is not hard to do, or it's not hard to learn. It's not hard to train people on it.
Hmm.
You've been around a million brands. You've looked at every FDD in the world. Um, the three words that I always like to use that I think they would echo with you are simple. So again, very easy. And then I'll talk about some kind of back office things that relate to that in a second.
Hmm.
Stable. So they know that the company is owned and operated by amazing, experienced professionals who are here to stay and answer their phones. This isn't a fly-by-night operation that's just going to be gone. You hear that it echoed in franchise brands where it's like I can't even get a hold of the franchisor anymore. They sold it to me and now they don't talk to me. So the stability is really huge. I think they love that. And then for our best owners, and I'm going to put them in a great best owner category, they want to scale their business. And there is so much meat on the bone in these territories that we're awarding for owners to get after it on the residential side and on the commercial side and really grow really amazing businesses.
Hmm.
So that opportunity is really there for folks. We do have some like long-time owners who kind of bought themselves a job at one point and, they're not growth mindseted, but our best owners, the ones who are happiest, I think, and really are focused on that. How can we make this territory maximized?
Awesome. So what really excites you the most about where the brand is today? Are there any new initiatives happening, technology, growth strategies? What do you want us to know?
All right, this is going to seem weird, but the tech stack is one of my favorite things. It's literally one of the reasons I'm here. That and our royalty scale. I want to make sure I tell you about that.
Okay.
Um, so in every FTD, when you look through, there's probably 6 or 7 different technology fees that you got to pay for CRMs. And I mean, if you're a studio, you've
Hmm.
got all kinds of different things with music. We have a proprietary back office system called STARS. And STARS handles all of the CRM functions, routing of crews, billing, point of sale, accounts receivable, um, some of the marketing connections with that I can talk about in a second because marketing is a hallmark too.
Hmm.
But it's less than $1,000 a year, and it's
Oh,
our
wow.
we grow it as we need it with our
Hmm.
programs. So we're not bringing on another um, you know, HubSpot to do the HubSpot functions, and all of these are great businesses, but you need 10 of them to make an operation work. Our simplicity is just a key with that. So I love that. New initiatives for us really, just continuing to kind of get the marketing out there around Jet-Black and making sure that our owners are really following the play on the things that
Hmm.
we're coming up with. We've got a 40% discount on Valpak coupons that we've negotiated, which is huge. We do all of our marketing at cost for our franchisees. So it's just exciting to watch that work and kind of continue to ramp that up.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the opportunity itself. When someone invests in your franchise, are you looking for owner operators, semi-absentee ownership? What's the business model really look like? And what kind of legacy can someone build within this franchise?
I love it. So I'm glad you asked about my background at the beginning because what that
Mhm.
should tell the people who are listening is you can probably trust me to not BS your clients, right? So I'm never going to tell somebody, yep, you just turn it on and sleep in late and don't work and whatever. Um, we want our owners to be off of the truck and the crew as quickly as possible. But most of our owners start by doing some jobs with their crew because they really want to get an understanding of how it works, learning the business from the on the ground. And it also
Mhm.
helps with revenue generation. But we don't want that to go on too long because we want them bidding jobs, winning the jobs. In commercial markets, this is critical. So the type of person is a networker who's out there meeting property management, meeting owners of businesses to get those commercial accounts at the same time. So the faster they can get off the crew, not operating like doing the seal
Mhm.
coating, the better.
Sure.
On the scaling side, so when folks look at our item 19, you're going to see a full P&L in there, and that P&L is a corporate P&L because we know those numbers are accurate. But it's a very small territory. So territories we're awarding now are probably 3 to 4 times that size, which
Mhm.
means somebody building a legacy scaling will have an opportunity to absolutely do that. And
Mhm.
we're coaching and guiding them constantly on, you should be thinking about that second trailer now. Let's think
Mhm.
about that second truck now. People can get into a habit of like booking out for 2 months and nobody can get on their schedule. That's not good. We want folks
Mhm.
who are saying, yeah, I'm going to invest in the next phase of this business.
Mhm.
ultimately grow to multiple crews who are operating in their territory.
So you mentioned before, because I want to get into like the ideal candidate, and you mentioned they should be a great networker. Are there any other qualities or personality traits that you're really looking for, or any other backgrounds, I guess, that you're looking for in your candidates?
Was the first question I asked Nick and our vice president, Luke, like, who is our ideal candidate? And they kind of laughed because over 40 years, we've got um, owners of every walk of life. And that's no joke. They're all over the board. So we have a hard time saying, ideally, it's exactly this. It is somebody who wants to work on the business and in the business, at least to start, but focusing on getting to the point where they're working on the business, right?
Hmm.
So a growth mindset, that's ideal for us. We won't even award a candidate in a market where there is a lot of networking required,
Hmm.
which would be in a largely commercial market. So just let me back up a step. There's some markets that have very few residential driveways.
Okay.
There's a lot of asphalt in commercial properties. That owner has to be able to get in the B&I networks, do the Chamber of
Hmm.
Commerce work, boots on the ground, knock on doors, do
Hmm.
all of that. We handle all the marketing largely for the residential side. So on that side, they're a different, maybe kind of owner where they're following up on leads, they're bidding the jobs. In our industry, we've got a reputation of people not answering their phone at the seal coating company, not showing up for the appointment they
Hmm.
made. We want professionals who will, show up looking great and, give a great reputation to an industry that doesn't have that necessarily. So I hate
Hmm.
to give a vague answer ever. A lot of people can do this for sure. We
Hmm.
definitely want people who want to be attentive to the business and want it to grow.
From signing the agreement to them getting the truck out on the road or opening the doors, so to speak, what does the process look like? How long is the timeline, and what kind of support do you provide to these people?
Before I give you typical, can I give you the best story of all time on this?
Absolutely.
Okay. One of our newest owners, down in Quad Cities, Iowa, in that area, learned about Jet-Black on his own. He really studied and researched, and he knew he wanted to do home services. And he had basically made the decision to sign before he called our office, which is a dream scenario, right?
Sure.
Okay. So from that point, he was disclosed immediately on the FTD. He did his first paid job 3.5 weeks later. That's not typical, but it actually happened, and it should tell you really how fast you can learn to do what you need to do to get out there. And I
Mhm.
heard yesterday that he just won a big commercial account down there, so we're excited for him. But for most owners, from the date they sign, they plan their schedule to come up for the training when we have it scheduled, or we
Mhm.
make a schedule to work for them. The training itself only takes a week. A few days are mostly in the field, really kind of learning what you do with seal coating and all of the crack filling and things that go into it.
Mhm.
Talking about their market. If they're doing commercial work, they're going to want to get into line striping. They can also get into signage and wheel stops and ADA compliance and just a lot of things that they'll need to learn about to be able to be effective.
Mhm.
And then they hook onto their trailer, which we fabricate for them at cost, and they drive to their market where we've already made a relationship with the sealant company itself. They know they're coming to fill up the trailer and start following up on leads and doing jobs.
So I know you are operating, I think in 20 states already, but
22.
where else are you looking to go? Do you have any real territories you have your eye on? Any certain states where you're really looking to expand?
I generally like to say Northeast is really good for us. So, and then a Chicago suburban market, sprawling market there would be great for us. Pittsburgh is wide open right now. We definitely want to get after it over there. The Boston suburbs are great. We have
Mhm.
one owner in Detroit with a small territory. He's doing really well, but the rest of that market is wide open.
Mhm.
And I'm committed to not giving vague answers to this, but a little bit of a vague answer. If there's asphalt, we want to go there and work there. The big question is, how large is the territory going to need to be for the franchisee to be successful,
Mhm.
right? So if it's a largely commercial territory, we're going to give them a lot of room. I
Mhm.
mean, a lot. If it has a great mix of residential and commercial, it'll be a little bit smaller, but still, really great sized territories.
Not a vague answer at all. I love that answer.
Okay.
So, so if I'm a potential candidate and I've kind of narrowed it down to, something in home service or maintenance, why does Jet Black deserve a spot on my short list?
Well, to me, I'd be comparing what also they need to be comparing with that home service because when you compare us to another home service brand and we're the only one doing really what we're doing nationally, that's just a huge differentiator right off the bat.
Hmm.
I won't pick on, you know, spraying services or things like that. There's just a lot of them. So you really have to do your homework on why is
Hmm.
one better than another when there's 10. Here, we're it. And we've got a lot of white space. The support that we provide, I'll give you a quick story. When I was first meeting with Luke, our vice president, and making a decision to come on board,
Hmm.
his phone rang and it was a franchisee. He had no idea what the question was. He didn't get a text ahead of time. He just said, I got to go. And he left the lunch and took the franchisee's call because it was just that important to him.
Hmm.
And that's a theme, I think, for our whole office. The people here do answer their phone and they follow up. So the kind of support that they're going to get, I think, is just awesome. And then let's go back to the simplicity of the business itself. There are some very complex businesses to run and operate. We're just not that.
Hmm.
And for somebody looking for that simplicity, um, we like to joke that we've made seal coating sexy. Look at the pictures of our trailers. They're kind of awesome. They don't look like other seal coating trailers. They're like proprietary. They're awesome, but it is, it's not a sexy business. You're doing driveways and seal coating. And um, but that simplicity, I think, is something that should be appealing to the right person for sure.
So my last question was going to be if you wanted anyone to have one takeaway about Jet-Black, you want them to remember one thing, although you already just kind of did it, seal coat making seal coating sexy. I'm not sure you can top that. But is there anything else as we close that you really just want people to remember about this brand?
Yeah, when our trailers go through neighborhoods, we play "Sexy Back" by Justin Timberlake, and it just, no, we really don't do that. I think it's those three words I started with at the beginning. The simplicity is there. We've talked a lot about it. The stability of the company is so important. I think one of the reasons I'm here and can feel really good about taking people through this process is just what I see when I look behind the curtain. And then the scalability is just really, really important for people to keep in mind. So we're looking for owners who want that, and we want to help them grow and thrive and build a great business for themselves.
Perfect. That's a perfect way to end it. So thank you so much, Scott. FranServe is thrilled to have you and Jet-Black as our partner. Together, we can help even more people achieve their dreams through franchise ownership. To all of our viewers, thanks so much for joining us for this edition of FranTastic Insights. Stay tuned as we've got more amazing conversations coming your way with innovative franchise brands that are shaping the future of franchising. Until then, we hope you all have a fantastic day.